Hello everyone. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the month of, what month are we on? March 2024. And this is for the collective, so that's the general population. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed. Please share this video with anybody that may need to hear the energy forecast for the month. And I think that's it, guys. My links down below to my socials in the description, and as well as my Etsy shop, so where you can get audio readings. So, okay, guys, let's see. What am I think that's it. Oh, yeah. Any, excuse me, any feedback, comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, please put it down below. Okay, no, that really is it. Okay, same 4 decks as the previous couple of readings, just different order. And that's it, let's begin. All right, what do we need? What do we need? Okay, we have athlete, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and shift of spirits. Okay, athlete is about willpower, is about going the distance, is about discipline, setting your sights on something and doing it, just very, very disciplined. And disciplined is jumping out, as you guys know, I read intuitively. So we really need discipline this week, it seems like. We really need to be focused, we need to be disciplined, we need to be dedicated, devoted. I'm very curious, there's a devotion card somewhere in here. I think it's in the Angels and Ancestors deck that I'm using. Very interested to see if that comes up. But it seems like we kind of need more stamina, more dedication, more prowess. So it definitely does feel like we are, this is only the first card, but as you know, the first card could really kind of tell you a lot, set up the energy for the month. And it definitely does feel like things are ramping up. Okay, so things are getting going. Things are, you know, it almost feels like the procrastination is ending, the inaction, the more feminine energy, which is very interesting because from the weekly, we definitely got like a lot more feminine energy kind of there, right? Using your intuition. But this is actually talking about speeding things up a little bit. But as you guys remember, that weekly one was very strange because that last overall outcome card really kind of like threw off the whole reading because it was very different. The whole reading kind of made sense. And then that last card was just like, huh? So maybe it makes sense that we are moving into that, right? Because that reading was, the weekly was half in February. The other half was in March. So the beginning of March. So it does look like March is really getting us to kind of like speed up and go forward. So let's keep going to see what comes up. Action needed, Lord, take charge with authority. Okay, guys, this is this is a masculine card. This is take charge, move forward. Okay, so action needed. So we do need to do that. So that's so interesting, guys. So I will say this: if you are in this week, okay, expect things like I said in that weekly to really start to speed up when March hits. Okay, so that made sense. Now it's starting to make sense to me. Because like I said, it felt like it definitely come out a little bit out of left field. So enjoy your downtime. Enjoy your downtime because it looks like once February hits, it really gets into it. Okay, so, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, go to bed February 29th, March 1st, you wake up and you feel it. Possibly, but sometimes it takes a little while, right? It's not exact, but take your downtime as you can, basically, and that makes sense why that kind of like came up like that intuitive, that slow, that slowness, that being. It's because embrace it, guys, and enjoy it because it looks like things are going to get a lot faster. So this is basically about taking charge, and this is also too not just about like moving forward, but also taking ownership, right? Because that's what the Lord is about. It's about taking charge. Like if nobody's going to do it, you need to do it, right? And so think of things that, and basically it's under action needed. So we do need to take action. Think of things that other people aren't doing and maybe you've been complaining about it or waiting for other people to do it. Something could be, I can't speak. Something could be, you know, it could be like so small. But think about things like that. And basically the Spirit is saying, now is the time to take action on it. Okay. I think you guys understand that. Let me move on. What is the issue? Oh, okay. So the issue is a leg up. Everybody knows, you know, we get this card somewhat often. It's about advantageous energy, right? It's about having an advantage over somebody, having almost sometimes like having privilege or having what's the word? in cahoots with somebody, knowing somebody, you know, like something like that. So the issue is like, you feel like you don't have connections, right? That's what it kind of feels like. It's like you feel like you don't have an in. You don't have an in on how to do this particular thing or how to do something, right? And so it feels like you don't, you know, everybody else has an advantage, but you don't necessarily do have one. And so it feels like there is like, how do I get in front of the right people? Like maybe it is, you know, maybe this is more of like an advocacy or activist type thing, right? Just using an example. Maybe you feel like you don't know the right people, or, you know, to get in front of, to change laws, or to make, you know, change actually happen, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a barrier here where you feel like you don't have the resources that other people might have, or the resources just kind of go forward. It is an issue. Let me see what challenges actually, to see if they're related. So we have love. Okay, actually they're very opposite. So sorry to jump ahead. Oh gosh, these cards still, guys. Definitely bend in not the greatest way. Okay. All right, sorry. So let me finish this up. Even though there's not too much more to say here, it's just basically, you know, we just feel like we don't have the resources that we need to kind of move forward and get the things done that we need to get done. That is the issue, and that definitely feels tied into here. This feels completely different, okay? This is almost like another left field thing, because it says challenge, bring it, have lit in love, okay? So now I'm interested to see what comes up down here, okay? Especially romantic connection, but we're definitely, it feels like March is a challenging time in our romantic lives. Can I get more specific for you? I'll tell you this, it doesn't feel like it is chaotic, toxic, abusive, anything crazy life-changing. It just feels like it just might be difficult. I know that's a little broad, but we will see what comes up in romantic connection, but that's really kind of all I'm getting. You guys know I just tell you the truth there, but it does feel like our romantic connections are going to be challenging. So just throwing that out there. Like I said, we'll see what comes up in romantic connection here. The change. Okay, so destroyer. Interesting. Shadow. Intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' potential dreams or potential. Okay. This is interesting energy, because the destroyer, to me, it's coming through like, how do I say this? You can still achieve what you need to achieve without messing, oh God. Guys, also please don't judge my sleeves here. I have some stains on it. Okay. This is basically saying like, you can accomplish what you need to accomplish without destroying other people's dreams or goals or what they actually want. Like, it's almost like, and this is not always true for the destroyer card, but it's almost like I'm coming to like this feeling of compromise where you can get what you want without having to destroy something else. Like, okay, so this is what's popping into my head. Like, if you're looking for like a new job, you don't have to burn your bridges to get to the next level. Like, you don't necessarily have to get to, you know, not to the next level, but to get a new job or to move forward or move on. You know, you don't have to burn bridges or destroy stuff in your, you know, leave the company the wrong way, you know, without giving them a 2 weeks of notice or something like that. Obviously, use your own intuition with it, but it almost just feels that way. It almost just feels like and because it's under change, it's like you're changing the way that you do that, right? Where it's almost like you're letting something go. Like you're not necessarily, like it's almost like there's this is very interesting. It's almost like this envious type energy coming through too. It's like you don't have to destroy other people by getting ahead. Like you don't have to move, you don't have to bash what was, you know, what was in your past to move on to your future. Like that's what it feels like. And so, and why I say envious energy is because you also don't want to be doing it. Like some of you guys out there, again, I read for the collective, might be doing it for envious type reasons. Okay, so you have to really question your motives, but this just feels like you don't have to destroy, you know, what's in your past to like move forward basically. So take that as you will. You can kind of, and again, like I said, it feels like a compromise. Like you can move forward without necessarily, you know, blowing stuff up, you know, in your path behind you. So, but what I can say is because it's under change, it's like that is changing for sure. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let's move on. Focus. Let's move this beautiful crystal. Isn't this beautiful? the energy from crystals. Okay, eagle, see from a higher perspective. Okay, so this is about really seeing things differently, seeing things from a higher perspective. And that it kind of piggybacks off of the destroyer, because it's kind of saying like you're taking the high road, right? And it almost kind of feels like that with the destroyer a little bit, like you're choosing differently. And again, use your intuition. If somebody needs to be put in their place and you really feel that that is the intuitive thing to do it. Trust your intuition over my intuition any day of the week. You know what's right, best for you, etc., etc. Okay, so always, I should put that as a disclaimer. Always do what feels best to you. Okay, you are responsible for listening to your own intuition. So anyway, so this is about kind of like soaring higher. You know, taking the high road, seeing things differently, that kind of thing. Not too much more I could say of this, so let's move on to reflect. Yin. All right, so we have some feminine energy here, right? Because the yin is the feminine, the yang is the masculine. So we need to reflect on our feminine behavior. We need to, and reflect in itself is more of a, right? Change is action. Reflect is being, right? Change is doing. You're actually doing something. Reflecting is in your being. You're introspecting. You're thinking. You're not necessarily things are like moving forward. And so this is just asking to reflect on, and because it's more feminine energy, like maybe reflecting on, how do I say this? Receptivity, or even just reflecting on that last week. Like I said, it was like heavy on intuition. Maybe reflecting on how you listen to your intuition and how that moved you forward, and how that what you learned from that, etc., etc. But basically it's saying, like, it could even be more tangible, meaning like maybe reflecting on your relationship to femininity, right? Are you more in your masculine than you are in your feminine? Things like that. So definitely, and there is a 2, so it could be, you know, reflecting on both things, even though this is a feminine. 2 is really about balance, so maybe it's about how to balance these two and, you know, where you're lacking. But there definitely does seem like there's something there with feminine energy for sure to kind of reflect on. So responsibilities. Fear. Okay, we had fear, I think, we actually had it in the challenge last time, if I'm correct. Moving through fear. So if that's true, here it is again. Doesn't shock me, because like I said, the last weekly that I did bled into March, so it makes sense. But responsibilities is to take care of your fear. If it was in challenge last time, it looks like it's not necessarily, you know, we've moved forward a little bit with that. We've kind of moved past it just a little bit, but it's still your responsibility to make sure you do, you know, feel the fear, but do it anyway, move past it, maybe resolve some of the fears, etc., etc. So fear does seem like it's still a theme for the month, but again, it's under responsibility, so it's saying like make sure you take care of it so you can continue to go forward is basically what it's saying. So okay, money and finances, and you guys know I lump career in here. Prince. Okay, romantic charm and potential for power. Okay, so this is really about being charming, being ready for the next step. I never really read it this way, but it feels this way this time. Like it's like before you can be a king, you have to be a prince, right? So it's almost like I think there's an apprentice archetype in here somewhere, but I'm kind of getting that for this. It's like kind of preparing you for something. Like it almost feels like preparation. And again, I never really read it that way, but that's how it feels today. And coming through. You guys know I read intuitively. So, and it just feels like, so these 2 things. So the charming thing is just being charismatic, being charming, being likable, like that kind of thing. So the fact that it's, okay, how does it relate to money, finances, and career? This feels like you're just very likable this month. You're very, and this fares well if anybody that watches is in like any type of situation where sales is involved, because people like you, right? And actually it fares well for entrepreneurs too, which are basically CEOs, entrepreneurs, basically what you guys are doing are selling all the time, right? Even it fares well for like people that are in nonprofits and things like that, because people like you just because, because of your like, it's almost kind of like an attractive thing. Kind of. I think there's more archetypes that really connect to that a little bit more, but you know the right things to say. You say the right things this month, and it fares well because people like you, so they want to buy from you or they want to be around you. But because it's under money and finances and career, this means it fares well for you career wise. So and again, money wise, and that kind of thing. So. And then also that second part, the potential for power, the getting yourself ready for something kind of bigger. And so it's only bringing you to more of your goals and bringing you to a better place, getting you ready for something, right? And so your likability is really kind of almost preparing you for maybe like your next step. So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense for you. But this is actually, to me, that's very positive. Okay. Surprise. Oh God, do we need any surprises? Okay, wise one, grow within your current situation. Interesting. So this is what I'm getting from this. It jumped out immediately. So this is about wisdom, from growth, from something that has happened to you. You gain wisdom. The only way you can gain wisdom is through experience. Okay, you can't learn wisdom from a book. Maybe you can, but this is more. Yes, but it's not applied wisdom. Like it's not. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's not earned wisdom, but it kind of is. So it's in your personal experiences. What I can say here is when I felt it right away, it feels like it's someone else. Okay, can it be you guys? Yes. Like surprising yourself with some wisdom, meaning like you feel extra wise this month, or your experiences really play into a more mature version of yourself this month, which is great. But like I said, when I first pulled this, it hit me like that it could potentially be somebody else. Like somebody is going to surprise you of how wise they actually are. So look out for like any advice that might be. And because it's under surprise, it makes me feel like it's like from an unexpected source. So it may come from an unexpected source. So keep your eyes peeled. Your eyes peeled. Your eyes peeled. Your ears open. And be open to wisdom from an unexpected source. So let's see what Friends says. Oh gosh, I have my hair coming out here. Never ending story. Okay. This is about same thing over and over again. This definitely does feel like it's coming in negatively. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We've had a lot of good cards in the friend section for many, many weeks now. This is a monthly, I know that. So it definitely does feel like a little bit of a tough month for friendships and they are relationships. It definitely does feel like there might be just kind of like the same old story. So this could actually be, you guys know I don't love this, but I'm going to say it because it's coming up. Like it might be like somebody in your friend group that maybe is connected more to like a victim mentality. So they continue to complain about things and vent about things that they're not necessarily willing to change. It just might be like the same old story. It could be also about someone not keeping their promises to you, and it's kind of the same old story over and over and over again you've heard from them, which if you remember from that weekly, it was really important for us to kind of keep our promises, our vows, right? And so it's kind of flipped now where it's saying like this month, and maybe that's why it kind of came through, is because it's really important to keep your word, and when people don't, it's really harrowing. It's not great. It doesn't make us feel good. It doesn't build trust within the relationship. It doesn't continue to help you guys bond, etc., etc. So just watch out for that. It doesn't fare well for especially if there's somebody that's coming back into your life, and you're wondering if you should let them back in. And basically this is saying never ending story where it's like the same thing over and over again. Okay, so Just be wary of that. Again, follow your own intuition. You can let in anybody, let anybody back into your life that you want. So, all right, this is what I've been waiting for: romantic connection. Patience. Okay, your patience will be tested. Excuse me. Like I said, the challenge is in love, and now we got a little bit more specific. It's in your testing your patience. Okay, so, and I will say this, it doesn't feel, like I said, up here, it doesn't feel like it's life-changing, it doesn't feel abusive, it doesn't feel toxic, it just feels like your patience is going to be tested. So there's a lot of, don't make any quick decisions, okay? Don't, and I will say this, don't push anybody, if you can, to make decisions or push them beyond their limits, et cetera, okay? So, keep that in mind, because it just feels like this is a lesson in patience for you, and the outcome will be positive as long as we're not pushing, and as long as we're not pressuring, pressuring, all of those things, because that will make it go into a different direction. But this, anybody in a relationship, I would say, like I said, it doesn't feel like anything big. Like, it's not like I feel like, it's going to make a dark turn, and maybe there are some breakups or whatever. I don't necessarily feel that. Could there be? Maybe, but, I don't think it has anything to do with this energy if it does, because this is really just about, being more patient. But if you want to work with the energies instead of against them, which is what these whole readings are about, this is kind of saying cultivate that patience, don't pressure, don't push. That kind of thing. Focus on yourself, because like I said, up there, the action needed is like, this stuff is solo. Okay, this stuff is personal development up here. This stuff is about doing what you're dedicated to, what you're passionate about, what you want to be doing. Focus on you, okay? Focus on you. So if you're willing, if this has something to do with pushing people to their potential or pressuring people to their potential, it's not going to go well, okay? So that's what I'm saying here. Work with the energies, not against them. What's important? Alchemist. Okay, yay! In the positive, in the light. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. We have more wisdom. Okay, so Alchemist is about being the master manipulator in a positive way, right? I've used the word manipulate before, and it comes up every once in a while in the shadow cards, but this one is in the shadow attributes. This one is positive, right? Because it's about transformation. So this is about making a change. Like I said, we are making a change up here, and I already read the change slot up there, but it's important that we focus on the positive change, because that's really what it's about. It's like manipulating the energy to work for us, because we are the alchemist, okay? So when you think of alchemy, it's about, putting two things together that will, or maybe more than two things, just combining things to make a transformation, right? And so it's about taking everything into consideration and making the transformation, right? So it's so important that we do concentrate on ourselves. Again, it's another, even though, like I said, the challenge here is in relationships, a lot of this stuff is self-focused, like personal development focused, okay, spiritual development, that kind of thing, because this is basically saying it's important that you focus your energy on transforming yourself, continuing to manipulate the energy, move the energy, and move forward, okay, because this is really what everything is about, right? So focus on you. Okay, let's see, and focus on change and moving forward. Okay. Health and wellness. We have Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Okay, so this is really about making plans and focusing, and again, another indication really of moving forward. Okay, so this is more, like I said, we do have that feminine card here, but as you notice, a lot of the other things are more masculine. So we are trying to, the energy is trying to move us forward. Spirit is trying to move us forward. And so this is basically saying make plans and focus. This is under health and wellness because this is good for our mental health. Okay, having a plan is good for our mental health. Knowing where we are going with a plan is good for our spiritual health, for emotional health, and for our mental health. And maybe some of you guys, in some type of way, it is good for your physical health. But we need a plan, okay? And you need to figure things out. And that's what it feels like, for this month, is that we need to kind of figure out where you're actually going. Because it's one thing to move forward, but we have to move forward with intention, okay? Okay, and then overall outcome. Let's see if it completely differs from the entire reading. Okay. Okay, so it kind of does. I just, self-fulfilling prophecy. We have time for a nap. But to me, this just feels like it's saying, don't forget to take a break, okay? Because what I will say about this, yes, a lot of this is action focused. Yes, it's about dedication, devotion, taking charge, moving forward. But it's not about, nowhere in this have I gotten any busy energy, okay? I tell you guys when it's going to be busy month, busy year, busy week, okay? It doesn't feel like that. Being busy and being ambitious and being excited about life, those are different things, okay? Because you can be busy and just fill the space and be neurotic and be erratic and make, and when we're super busy, we usually make mistakes. We don't, we're not necessarily present. You can be present and move forward, okay? So this is not about that. So that's what this is saying. This is saying, even though you feel dedicated, even though you feel like you can take charge, even if you can do all of these things and you can feel these energies, don't just be busy to be busy, okay? Make sure you're doing things in the quote unquote right way, meaning that you're being balanced, okay? And maybe that's what this is really about in the reflect. Maybe that's part of what you can reflect on, is like, how do you balance that feminine and that masculine, right? And I said that last time too with the weekly, is like, I was trying to explain that last card where it's like, sometimes when I see an overabundance of one energy over the other, it's not that one is better than the other. It's just saying that we've been in one for so long that the universe is, calling us to be in the other. And that's because it's always trying to seek balance. The universe is built, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. The universe is built on balance, okay? And so all the laws are based on balance, basically. So everything is always trying to balance itself out, and that includes feminine and masculine energies. So, and I give the example, the world has been ruled by a lot of masculine energy, especially if you live in the States with capitalism, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into this, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say, is some of it, maybe it is good if it's balanced, right, with feminine energy. But if the feminine energy is nowhere to be found in the last, several centuries, and it's not being incorporated and it's not being integrated, then I can see why the universe is calling for more of that. So that's on a bigger picture scale. This is really just reading, for the, what's bigger than the collective. But it's basically saying that, okay? So think of it, individually for each of you guys, like how in your lives are you balancing these two, right? And so it just feels like we're going into this month again, just trying to figure that out, while still moving forward, while still reflecting on the feminine, by still having a break, okay? Because that's what time for a nap is about. It's about don't forget to take breaks is really what Spirit is saying. So if you guys find yourselves in this month trying to keep busy or having a packed schedule, you need to reevaluate and reflect, okay? Because it's just not, it's going to kind of mess everything up, and it's not going to feel good, I promise. So, so yeah, definitely a good message to kind of, end with. But overall, a really good reading. The things that maybe are a little bit of red flags is, honestly, I would say the friends thing. So unfortunately, maybe we don't have, the biggest support this month, but that's okay. We're not looking outside of ourselves this month. It definitely does feel like a more, focus on ourselves, how, what do we need kind of situation. And it's not necessarily about other people, even though I would say maybe the next red flag would be that challenge up there with the love, but it's not anything crazy. Like I said, it's just calling for us to be more patient, and, stop pushing, stop pushing, pressuring, that kind of thing, focus on you is what Spirit is trying to say, and have patience with your partner in some way, shape, or form. So otherwise, I like everything else, okay? Everything else is green flags all the way, to be honest with you. So it's all good. Okay, guys, I want you to have a wonderful month, and I'm excited because I love when I do these monthlies, and it looks really damn good, and I'm excited because I can always use a win, and I know you guys can too. So enjoy your month, and I'll see you for the next weekly, and have a good one, guys. Bye.